Welcome back, wandering travelers, to It Moves. I am your host, Recurring, and we're going to be diving back into the depths of imagination and sanity. Call it what you will. Alright, here we go again. I don't know what that flash was on my screen. Can I see that? Painted glass depicts some religious man, I guess. That's a meat hook. Yeah, okay. Basically, I said what it was. Oh, it's meat to dry from it. Okay. Shaky, shaky. Earthquake? Okay, and just mirror the one, I guess. Oh, that was a door. Ooh, that was pretty. What the heck is this? Painted glass depicts a scene from the Bible. Okay, that's lightning effect. Lighting the windows. Cobwebs. Ooh. Hidden door with jars filled of random stuff. Oh, disgusting stuff, sorry. Heads in a jar. Another earthquake. What is that? Oh, okay, you don't want to say. Fine. Okay. Giant head. It's a big ball, but I'd rather not use it. Don't blame you. Let's move on. That's a very cobweb-filled room. Nope, can't open curtains. Yeah, never Easy there, boyo. Faded picture. What is that? No, it doesn't recognize whatever it is. Oh. Wait a minute. Are those cats? I don't know, it doesn't recognize whatever it is. Well, like, squeeze you! Okay. And that was a thing, apparently. Okay. Oh, it's the mouth closing. No, that one's open. Well, that's just weird. Oh, and we just spawned back at the beginning. What this time? We're gonna do the endless loop cycle again. Well, probably will change a little more each time, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Ooh. it not snapping closed now? Nothing else changing? No? Okay. This is even more random than I thought it was going to be. Now I can't go round. Oh boy, trap routine, whatever those were. Ooh, is this a memory? My greatest fears were realized in the winter. The days grew short, and the longer nights merely provided this wretch of more opportunities. It was a difficult time for my family. My grandmother, a wonderfully kind and gentle woman, had deteriorated greatly since the death of my grandfather. My mother was trying her best to keep her in the community as long as possible. However, dementia is a cruel and definitive illness, robbing a person of their memories one day at a time. Soon she recognized none of us, and it became clear that she would need to be moved from her house to a nursing home. Before she could be moved, my grandmother had a particularly difficult few nights, and my mother decided that she would stay with her. As much as I loved my grandmother and felt nothing but anguish at her illness, to this day I feel guilty that my first thoughts were not of her, but of what my nightly visitor may do should it become aware of my mother's absence. Her presence being the one thing which I was sure was protecting me from the full horror of this thing's reach. I rushed home from school that day and immediately wrenched the bed sheets and mattress from the lower bunk, removing all the slats and placing an old desk and chest of drawers, and some chairs which she kept in a cupboard where the bottom bunk used to be. I told my father I was making an office, which he found adorable, but I would be damned if I'd give that thing a place to sleep for one more night. As darkness approached, I lay there knowing my mother was not in the house. I did not know what to do. My only impulse was to sneak into her jewelry box and take a small family crucifix, which I'd seen there before. While my family were not very religious, at that age I still believed in God and hoped that somehow this would protect me. Although fearful and anxious while gripping the crucifix under my pillow, tightly in one hand. Sleep eventually came, and I drifted off to dream. I hoped that I would awaken in the morning without incidents. Unfortunately, that night was the most terrifying of all. Okay, and once again into the dream realm. Okay, is this with anything else? A poster for a player. So we're in Skull. Can we play the piano? I guess we can. Kind of, not really. Alright, let's head on out. The feeling that something invading your privacy, even without ill will, is still disturbing. Okay, bye friend. Okay, good. You are. The clock has stopped. There's no sense of time whatsoever. Okay, next room. Even if you didn't know why they are here, you hold the greatest amount of fear for them. It's a Triceratops. And there's a bathtub in the middle of a crossroom. Okay then. Oh, picture of a religious man and woman. Yep, Triceratops. Well, excuse you. The sounds of screams are awful, as they even worse when they're your own. Well, leave the stairs for a second. What the heck was that? Sounded like a dinosaur or something then. Holes in the floorboards. There's a piece of paper here. It reads, "Knack knack." The piece of paper here, the text on it is illegible. But it just read to knock knock a second ago. That's a mattress? Okay. Okay, a half-face type weird thing. Just... Oh, that was definitely random. Can I open that? Oh, it's you again. The writing desk with some school material. Oh, it's like a TV. No. Various bit that look like it would be hard to read. Because there's nothing inside. Oh, okay. Nope. There we go. Alright. Let's go down. Oh, there he goes again. These are very school rules printed here, and a tree taken over? Yeah, roots. I'm not even going to try to understand what I'm seeing here. Let's just leave them alone. The lock on this door is broken. I don't think I can get in here. And I can't even... Oh yeah, the floor's broken. Oh, down we go again then. What the heck? Busted machine of some sort. Blank goes through cracks. I have to go down the ladder, don't I? Yep. Almost musical, that. You too. Okay. Let's just keep going forward. And nothing goes right, go left. I have no idea if I'm doing this right at all. But we definitely seem to be going forward. So someone tells me that we're probably just getting looped again. Let's go right. Sorry, was that a shock to your system, dude? Someone's very vocal, aren't they? Okay, that sounded like a backward pterosaur call or something. Ooh, this is different. What are all of ye? No one talking? No. What about you? No, no one wants to talk to me. There we go. Oh, it's doing its own thing. Well, someone's doing a happy dance, aren't they? You know, it's going to bode well very badly for me. You're awfully quiet nowadays. Is there something wrong, son? Nothing. Are you sure? Is there something wrong with your new room? Are you lonely without your brother? No. All right then. I woke gradually. The room was once again dark. As my eyes adjusted, I could gradually make out the window and the door and the walls. Some toys on a shelf, and even to this day, I shudder to think of it, for there was no noise. No rustling of sheets, no movement at all. The room felt lifeless. Lifeless, yet not empty. The nightly visitor, that unwelcome, wheezing, hate-filled thing which had terrorized me night after night, was not in the bottom bunk. It was in my bed. I opened my mouth to scream, but nothing came out. Utter terror had shaken the very sound from my voice. I lay motionless. If I could not scream, I did not want to let it know I was awake. I had not yet seen it. I could only feel it. It was obscured under my blanket. I could see its outline, and I could feel its presence. But I dared not look. The weight of it pressed down on top of me, a sensation I will never forget. When I say that hours passed, I do not exaggerate. Lying there motionless in the darkness, I was every bit a scared and frightened young boy. If it had been during that summer months, it would have been light by then. But the grasp of winter is long and unrelenting, and I knew it would be hours before sunrise. A sunrise which I yearned for. I was a timid child by nature, but I'd reached a breaking point. A moment where I could wait no more, where I could survive under this intimately deviant abomination no longer. Fear can sometimes wear you out, make your brain a shell of nerves, leaving only the slightest trace of you behind. I had to get out of that bed. Then I remembered the crucifix. My hand still laid underneath the pillow, but it was empty. I slowly moved my wrist around to find it, minimizing as best I could the sound and vibrations caused, but it could not be found. I had either knocked it off of the top bunk, or it had, I could not even bear to think of it, been taken from my hand. Without the crucifix, I lost any sense of hope. Even at such a young age, you can be acutely aware of what death is, and intensely frightened of it. I knew I was going to die in that bed if I had laid there dormant, passive, doing nothing. I had to leave that room behind. But how? Should I leap from the bed and hope that I make it to the door? What if it is faster than me, or should I slowly slip out of that top bunk, hoping not to disturb my uncanny bedfellow? Realizing that he had not stirred when I moved, trying to find the crucifix, I began to have the strangest of thoughts. Right then, I think we better leave it on here. I hope you've all enjoyed that episode, and I'll see you next time, my shadows.